You are looking at a preview of the 2024 native Leonardo Maddog MD-80. How you doing, everybody? CJ here. I am your classic jet sim pilot, and boy, oh boy, I'm so excited. They did it. It's on its way. It's going to be released in just a few days, and Leonardo was nice enough to send me a little preview copy. It is not the release build. I'm going to assume there's probably still doing some updates on it. Knowing them, they're very good at tracking down bugs and working on them as quickly as they can. They're a small shop, but they are dedicated to this aircraft, and I love it. I love it. It is one of the finest aircraft in the sim. System-wise, there is no comparison. Whoops, excuse me while I walk through that, whatever it is, truck. But here we are. It is 2024 native. It has been updated. There is an updated version that will also be available in 2020. So lots of improvements, additions made. I assume they've updated the interior not only to 2024 standards, but to 2020 standards. I've only been in the aircraft once. I did a very quick flight with it. The other night when they first sent the file over. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do a full flight, but look at that. You can actually read the placards now. How exciting is that? Oh, she looks good. She looks good. Look at that. We got real good skin textures. You can see the rivets. I'm so excited to get in and fly it. We got a nice little flight today. We are sitting here at the PACSIM RDU. We'll get a better view of it, but it's a wonderful RDU. I've been using a different version for the longest time, so I'm happy to be doing. Let's see if we can operate the door. There. Unlatch passenger entrance door. Oh, look at that. Something's happening. Something's happening. We got stairs. Holy cow. Can't walk up them, but we got stairs. It's funny. All right. Let's put it back. Oh, you know what? I don't have hydraulic pressure. I'll bet you that's it. Oops. I got myself in quite the pickle. Right? Rule number 1 in streams is you don't do something you haven't tried otherwise. So let's get some power to the aircraft. We'll just use, in the interest of time, because I want to get this baby in the air and get to flying. GPU. Fuel valves are closed. Throttles are closed. Speed brake. Spoilers are down. Flaps are up. Windshield wiper is off. Battery on. External power should be healthy because we got the blue light, and it is.
Autopilot.
So let's load up the hydraulic system, and then let's scoot outside real quick. Oh, it's already up. It closed it when we went inside. All right, well, that's good to know. It does that, so you don't have to remember. We'll go ahead and close this panel. But how exciting is this? Here we go. Raleigh-Durham up to Buffalo. Sorry, I got sidetracked. My mind's going a million miles an hour. I'm so excited. Okay. Nice hydraulic pump sounds. Oh, you know what? I don't have. Of course, I don't have view set. I'm using my old view keys that I'm used to. How's this looking? We need to be up just a hair. There we go. We are in an MD-82 for this flight up to Buffalo, and we got to set some views in. Views the way I like them in the MD-80. One is my pilot's view. 2. Actually, let's do 2, the good view of the McDoos. And then 3, I like to get to the center pedestal. All right. Or actually, you know what? Let's change it up. Now that I think about it, let's do this as 5. I don't need. I usually use 5 as my up here for lights, but on this we've got lights on the glare shield. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 5 is the same view. So let's do 3 from the pilot seat. There we go. Let's do it that way. All right, so 3 gives us the lower pedestal. 2 are the the CDUs, and what everybody calls the FMS, even though it's not really the FMS, and or the box is really what's used on the line, and then 3 is the that. Okay. Alrighty, so let's load up this airplane. Like all of them, run on paperwork. So let's do that. Weekly checks expired. We gotta launch that. Let's make sure I have the options the way I want them. Honeywell, don't need a HUD. Let's auto arm the altitude since I'm using the PAP3 and can't arm the altitude after I do it. American did use a single Q, as much as it's not my favorite. Alright, and then we've got the flight folder. We'll import the OFP. There we go. So we need 17,419 pounds of fuel. So that's what we'll get. And let's just start that now. There we go. We could start boarding now. Well, let's do our overhead check. Let's run through them. We do have a test up here. It's the cargo fire system. And then we have the regular fire test. Let's do that before we start up the APUs.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
Very good. And then we'll start the overhead panel. Get that all set. The IDGs are disconnect are closed and guarded. We'll reset the gens. APU is off bus. External power is on bus. The bus ties are closed, or in auto, I mean. Vet galley we can turn on. Start pumps off. Fuel heats off. Ignition's off. Starters are off. Fuel pumps are off. Emergency lights go to arm on. Off on the seatbelt sign. Make sure we have resistance. and everything. We'll leave it on captain. We'll turn on the windshield heat. APU switches are off. Batteries on. We already checked the power. Those are all in norm. Oh, I need to set up the overhead panel view, so let's do that. That is my button 8. I'm doing this from my little sim rig, and it makes it much more difficult. All right, control alt 8. All right, got the overhead view set up. Norm. Here we go. There's the test. Everything's on norm. Off. Wind shear.
Headwind, shear, headwind, shear.
We're getting the wind shear
headwind,
notices.
Shear. Tailwind, shear, tailwind, shear, tailwind, shear.
Lights are off. We could do the PA test.
PA and emergency light test.
Test the anti-skid. We should get the 4 lights. We do. There's the response. Stall test.
Stall.
Good. Max speed warning.
Overspeed.
There it is. Logo light we don't need. Yaw damp. Yaw damp off. Yaw damp off. Trim computer. Get the warning. Ice fog. Should get 4 of them. There they are. All 4 lights. Those are in auto. Bleeds are off. Temp is on cabin. It's not too cold out. Standby. Press. Buffalo. We're heading to Buffalo. 720 something feet. And the weather right now. And we'll put it in the proper, the EFB built in here in just a second. The weather in Buffalo, 29er, 89er. There we go. Auto, off. Light test. Everything looks good. We'll come across. I'll tell you what. Let's. We could do the mic test and everything. Don't need to. We're on VHF1. I'll tell you what. Let's get on VATSIM just in case we have any controllers. Where were we? American 360. AL 360. We are an MD-82. And I won't worry about a cell cal code, even though I think this plane has one. Here's my auto ATC. 6553. Go ahead and put that in before I forget. Bam. Okay, coming across the top, we'll go ahead and start our Autoland test. Something you got to do before each flight. We'll go to 2, Autoland, let it run its test. Coming across the top otherwise. I like turning up the panel lights a little bit in this airplane. Minimizing the yoke. Looks good. We will align the standby gyro. The pressure here in Raleigh, 3020.
Altitude. Altitude.
Spin this up. 3020. Test 2.04, 12 degrees. We're good. Test.
Landing gear.
Test 369. Looks good. Today's an even day, so we'll leave it there. Zero fuel weight today. Let's get this all initialized. Pre-flight, init data, init request. There it is. Raleigh, Buffalo. Weight and balance. Alright, let's load up the EFB. And then while we're waiting for everything to load up, we'll go ahead and take a closer look at the new textures. Thought I was going to be able to take off earlier, but I didn't. And so I had to file a new flight, or create a new flight plan. Okay. Our trip fuel is 82.89. Our taxi fuel 600. Our block fuel 17.419. Send it. Flight plan. Everything's requested. Now we'll just wait for the received messages to come back. We are still refueling. Go ahead and close this for now. We can test the radar. Looks good. Turn it off. Speed brakes down.
Flat. Stabilizer. Brake. Flap.
Flap. Flaps are up. Fuel is off. Radios. Here at RDU. CTAF RDU 2745. Let's throw that in. $27.45. There we are. 00. We'll leave those closed till we got some bleed air going, and 5 and 22.8. Turn it, and we got number 2 on. We got the intercom on. Have the PA on. Okay. I think we're ready to program the box, so let's do that. We are at RDU. We've got the GPS, so we can insert those coordinates to align everything up. On the route, we can do K, R, D, U, K, B, U, F. Excellent. What are the runways we could expect? Two threes. Yep. And let's do 2-3 right. So we'll plan on 2-3 right. Our flight plan. Oxford 5 Carmel Auto. Johnstown, and then Juliet Hotel Whiskey. I don't know what that is. And then direct to Buffalo. We can activate that. Depart and arrival. We're departing 2-3 right. Oxford 5. Carmel. Enter. Index. Arriving. ILS 23, I believe is correct. And Treva. Execute. Legs. PV, Oxford, Harvey, Carmel, Otto, JHW. Yeah, and then we'll go direct to Trava. Execute. Legs is good. And let's do our performance. We are flight planned for 370. I don't know about that. Let's call it 350. 370 is a little optimistic. That's pretty high. Okay. And our cruise wind to 248.67. We'll put that in the cruise wind. ISA deviation is +2. Fuel schedule 17.4. Normal. Our zero fuel weight on the release is 100.4. Let's see if this agrees with us. It does. Let's reload it just to be sure. Yeah, 112.657. Wow, we're right at max takeoff. We must have a heavy load. All right. I tend to trust this one more. 112.657. 112.7. Yeah, 112. Let's call it 112.7. 112.7. Zero fuel weight. Our reserves are 2.6. Is our final reserve. Takeoff. Uh, 17.5 will be our takeoff CG. Is that correct? 17.3. Takeoff weight 149.7. So we'll call it 150. So we go to our performance. 2-3 up. Yeah, 2-3 right. And our weather again. I was there. What are you doing? Weather 140 at 5. 140/5. QNH 3017. OAT is 14. 150 is our weight. Calculate. 7.5, 33. Flex. 33. We never tested our other auto land. We'll do that now. And 49.53.62. 149. 153. 162. Flap 7.5. So we'll go here. Dial a flap to 7.5. Okie doke. I think we're good with the box. So we could click here. 49.53, 49.53, 62. Our flaps up speed is 166? Yeah, 167. Slats, minimum slats only speed, slats maneuvering speed, 205. And yeah, we're heavy. We got a lot of folks on board. All right, we've done our tests. 230, what's our runway heading here? 230, 234. So we'll set our course. Speed window goes to 250 knots. Actually, 252. $234. We ain't getting a 350. I'll tell you that right now. Because at 150,000, well, we'll review the performance, but 150,000 pounds, 310 is about as good as we can do. So let's just plan on that. Yeah, our takeoff gross is going to be more like 151. So we'll do that. All right. Well, I guess you can't put it in. All right. So let's see. We got the box configured. We're waiting on the load sheet. We can go ahead and load the airplane. We are fueled. Let's start boarding. We'll just do that. I guess we gotta operate the jetway. Let's operate the jetway. So at least it looks right. Got new boarding sounds from Leonardo. That's kind of nice. All right, so we'll get the loading done. Only 97. I don't. It's interesting how the Mad Dog is figuring out the weight. Well, we'll address that later. Let's get in the air. I want to fly. We will get everybody loaded up. Oh, there is somebody here. Somebody just landed. From the Caribbean. Nice. Get the flight directors on. Toga. Work set there. Let's go ahead and start the APU. As soon as we see some RPM, take it off start. I won't be able to hear it. That VATSIM sound. Oh yeah, you can. Well, that already sounds a whole lot better. By the way, I uninstalled... I'll let you listen to the APU here. I think we're good. Bring the APU on bus. Get some bleed air going. Watch that APU gen as I turn on the packs. Make sure that those pack fans come on. There's our A cars. Did we get an updated? It might be from the old one. Okay. I uninstalled the immersive audio sound pack for this. One, so we could hear the new native sounds, and two, because it's not compatible. Right? They made some changes to the file structure, and we'll take a listen. I know they've updated the sounds. That APU already sounded better. So we'll take a look. I already noticed these boarding sounds, which I used to use GSX a lot. I'm not using GSX right this second, but I feel like that might be a little different. But how about this flight deck, huh? It looks so much better. Crisp textures. The lights seem to be a little bit more, I don't know, not really, more vivid, I guess. Oh, you can go right through it. But, yeah, looks so much better. So much better. I gotta use the keyboard. Take a closer look here. But yeah, look, we can get right up to everything, and it looks good. Outstanding. Boy, my phone's going crazy. I don't know what's going on. Outstanding. Yeah, they did a nice job. It's looking so much better than it used to. We'll set some cabin views after we get out of here. But yeah, there's no denying how much better it looks. Circuit breaker panel. You can actually get up to the placards. So much better. I'm excited. I am excited. Hope you all are too. There's no reason to believe anything else has changed as far as handling qualities, except maybe they've been able to adopt more of the 2024 flight model to make it that much more pleasant. But yeah. All right, let's get the seatbelt sign on. Everything's running now. We've got bleed. Oh, no, we don't. Let's open up those pneumatic crossfeed valves. Ah, we got some bleed running through the cabin. All right, what do you say we do the before start checklist, and then we'll get ready to push back. We shouldn't be too far from boarding being complete. So, we'll go to the legs page. Parking brake is set. Warm light, we don't have. Oxygen's checked. Circuit breakers are checked. Battery, locked and on. Fuel boost pump. I should have turned on that fuel boost pump. But since we are refueled, we'll go ahead and do that. We burn off the wings until we're out of here, and then we switch to the center afterwards. Normally during the pre-flight, you run a test of all the... Oh, there's our boarding complete, I'm guessing. Yep, they closed the door. So normally you run a test of all the fuel pumps before, but I did not do that, so we'll just continue on. Emergency lights are armed. Probe heat is on, Captain. Windshield anti-ice is on. Pressurization auto. It is up and set. Flight guidance panel set and checked. 252 knots, 31,000 feet. And we've got everything else ready to go. Did we get another ACARS here? AOC, receive messages. There we are. Yep, our load sheet. 112,444. There we are. Acknowledge. Next page. Takeoff weight. Yeah, see, that makes more sense. 129.2. So let's go 130,000 pounds. Seven flat for the 50 flex. Flap 7. Flaps. Seven with a 50 flex. And the V speeds 37, 42, 51. 137, 142, 151. Very good. So flight guidance panel is now set and checked. Flight instruments bug set and cross-checked. Assume temperature arc switch is set. Fuel quantity distribution. 38,000 pounds. So there's the problem. It did not fuel. It fueled according to that. All right, back to our gross weight takeoff. 149.7. Yep, that's what it did. It fueled to max. It did not fuel off of the sim brief, which is a little odd, but that's all right. We shall deal with it. 150,000 pounds. So we got way too much fuel. We're tankering. That's all. 7.5, 33. All right, back to 7.5, 33. Takeoff flex. 33. And back to our rocket speeds. 49, 53, 62. 49, 153, 162. All right. There we go. Okay. FMS is inserted and verified. Transponder is on. Spoiler lever is retracted. Takeoff warning has been checked. Throttles are closed. Fuel levers are off. Fuel cross-feed lever is off. Flats and slats up and retracted. Airline rudder trim 00. Briefing is completed. Seatbelt sign is on. Aux hydraulic pump on. Pressurizing and transfer pump is on. Good pressure both sides. Windows and doors. We still got a lot of doors. Oh, just the external power door. Anti-collision exterior lights. We can go ahead and turn everything on. Turn on the beacon. Cabin ready report received. Flight deck doors closed. EFB personal electronic devices are off. Okay, we are ready for push and start. We'll go ahead and call GSX. Nobody's around us. Prepare for pushback. Nope. Here they come. There it goes.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So am I. Let's light this candle.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Oh, you know what? I bet I know what I did and why those sim brief looked so funny. I'll bet you I did not load in the proper profile, the proper aircraft. The Leonardo is very specific when it comes to which profiles you use, and it tends to not load properly if you're not using the correct profile. And I'll bet you that's what I did. Anyway, not a big deal. We're safe with our speeds. Let's get out of here. How we doing out there? We get a better look at the PACSIM RDU scenery. Looks pretty good. We're gonna do nose left.
Release parking brakes, please.
Brakes are released. Clear to
All
push.
engines clear. Start at will.
Here we go. Galleys off. Bleeds come off. We've got good pressure there. It's an odd, even day. Pumps are on. We're clear of the jetway. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Start valve is open. N2. How's it sound? Well, it already sounds a million times better. Slightly changing sounds based on how we move. Sounds like max motoring. Let's turn on the fuel. Oh, they put in the light off sound. That's awesome. Should get the switch over to the gen at about 4:30. There it is. At which point, we can close that. Left gen is taking load. Let's turn 2. Start valves open. N2.
Please set parking brakes. Unlocking gear.
Max motoring. Fuel. Fuel flow. Light off. Watching the EGT for the hot start. Watching the N2 and the N1 for a hung start. Mostly N2. There's the switch over. There's the rollback. Close it. Turn it off. Pumps are going. Turn the galley power back on.
Disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
The generators have taken the load. Turn that
Left is
off.
clear. Right is clear.
Turn off the APU bleed. Turn off the APU. We can close. We will arm the speed brakes. We'll go to flaps 7. Slats are extended. This should go take us to flap 7, the dial flap setting. There it is. Cabin's ready. Return. Load sheet. Already accepted it. What's our master caution? Oh, nothing. Parking brakes. And up. Okay. Before taxi, engine anti-ice is off. Air conditioning's Did I turn the bleeds back on? The packs, I mean? Nope. Packs are on. Pack fans are going. I can hear the packs running. We're good. Flaps are set. Spoilers armed. Auto brake. Takeoff and armed. Flight controls. Should get the spoiler deployment when I do left, and that's full right. Full down gets the elevator power. And full up. We're good. And the rudder pedals are good. Alright. Very important to do the control check, especially in the sim. Before takeoff, since I'm single pilot, well, before takeoff right now, is takeoff data bugs set and cross-checked. Runway 23 right. We're at a pretty high power. Low D rate, 33 degrees. Flex is set. 49, 53, 62. 49, 53, 62. 166 is our minimum flap speed. And then minimum slat speed is 200, or that's the flaps up minimum speed. And then 252 will be our slat speed, right? Our clean speed? Yep. APUs as required, it's off. Pneumatic cross feeds are closed. Flight controls checked. Hydraulic system high and on. High and on. Anti-ice is off. Packs are on. Takeoff briefing completed. Annunciators are checked. We'll get the ignition. Everything else as we get closer. Brakes are on. Clear left, clear right. Here we go. 2-3 right. Raleigh-Durham. Pack sim. Brand new preview copy of the Leonardo. Takes a little power to taxi, as it should. I'm kind of heavy. So the new Maddog Manager, it's not called the Load Manager anymore because you don't load within it anymore. But it is still where you manage the deliveries, and it's nice because it has a link directly to the site. I'm sorry, I don't have it open. I don't want to leave the screen, but you can manage deliveries with it. Set the general options, and it's got some additional sound sliders, including one which is engine in the cockpit. I have it turned at max, only so you can hear the new engine sounds. When I fly this, for quote unquote real, I will probably turn them to a more realistic level because you don't hear the engines when you're taxiing in this airplane. And when you take off, it's just the faintest. And as I recall, in the 9s. You really don't hear it until you get into the killer bee mode, if you know what I mean. You might have a little bit more pack flow as you bring the throttles up, and then you hear just the faint of the buzzing when the engines get to power. So this will definitely be more engine noise than what is realistic. But if you love the sounds, you now have the option to turn them up. And I can already tell you, they sound much better. Reverse sounds pretty good too. Yeah, that reverse sounds kind of juicy actually. All right. Let's quit messing around and get down to the runway and get out of here. We got to get to Buffalo. And when I checked earlier today, it was going to be super windy in Buffalo. So this could be an interesting predicament we're getting ourselves into. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Yeah, it's taking quite a bit of power to taxi, so that's real. I feel like the 2020/2024 compatible version, the last one we had, you had to be at 1.1 to start moving. I did do a really quick flight when I first got the file, just to make sure the controls were bound and nothing weird changed there. And I was super light, and it started rolling immediately upon brake release. So either Leonardo has done some work with that, or well, they must have, because the old version. So I'll bet you it takes advantage of the new Microsoft, the new FS24 ground physics, and I would imagine the flight model as well. So I feel like it taxis much better than it used to. It was like a magic number. 1.1 started rolling pretty much no matter the weight. All right, so it's been a minute since I've done a true flight in the Mad Dog. So let's set our bug to about 1,000 feet, and what will happen is stop. There we go. So 1,000 feet above the ground, we have that set. It'll be to 1.3 EPR. I'll engage the auto throttles. That'll take us to 1.96, which will be our takeoff limit. We'll climb straight out at 1,000 feet. We'll select climb on the TRP. We'll climb out at V2, plus 10 or 20 degrees. I'm pretty heavy today, so it'll probably be the V2 plus 10. Then at 1,000 feet, we'll start the acceleration. We'll reduce power. We'll accelerate. I'll bring it down to 1,500 feet a minute. Go to vertical speed on the flight director. I may engage the autopilot at the time. We'll see. And then we'll climb at 1,500 feet a minute. Maybe 1,000. Again, we're heavy, so it might need 1,000 feet. But anyway, I need to get over closer to the runway. Yeah, up here, next left. So 1,000 to 1,500 feet a minute until we get to retract the slats, and then we'll accelerate to 250 knots, 252 knots, and we'll climb on out of here. Oh, of course, I don't have my push-to-talk switch set properly. Is there anybody around? Negative. Nobody around. Lights. Camera, action, packs are on. We'll start the clock as I bring the power up. And we will shuffle off to Buffalo.
Stabilizer.
Oh, did I not set the trim? I didn't complete the last part of the checklist, so I might not have. So we'll hold in position here for just a second. There is nobody approaching. We'll get lined up. I'm gonna do a quick stop. And nope. There we go. All right, ready? Terrain radar on. Take off. 1.3 per. Auto thrust. 1.96. That sounds pretty good. Thrust set. Clamp. $100 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. 0. Tuck it right into those flight director bars. Yep, we're right at the 20-degree mark. Nice. There's 1,000 feet. We can come back to climb. Come to vertical speed mode. Dial it down to about 1,200. That's good. Bring the nose down gently. And start the acceleration. We can go to flap 0. Turn the autopilot on. And now we can go direct, PV, execute. LNAV, VNAV. Off we go. Yeah, we're heavy. You can tell by the way she's climbing out. Flaps up. Or retract the slats, I should say. After takeoff checklist, gear is up, no lights, spoiler levers disarmed, auto brake off, disarmed, flats and slats up, retracted, no lights. Engine ignition is off, pressurization, air conditioning. We are pressurizing. APU is off. Takeoff checklist complete. I'm going to redirect it. There we go. Slew our heading bug around. Yeah, we are not setting any timed altitude records today. And we're about to go in the clouds. We're below +10. Yeah, we're +5. So engine anti-ice. That'll bring the power down a little bit. So we are on the Oxford 5, and it was just runway heading and then direct PV. We have to be above 2,500 at PV, which we obviously made. Now up we go. Carmel is our last waypoint on this. on the departure. You can also set the fuel pumps and start burning that center fuel. The reason you don't take off on the center tank is you want two independent sources of fuel during departure, just in case there's a problem. If something was wrong with the fuel that was put in the center tank, or there was already some water in the center tank, you don't want to be burning off that center tank and then get a flame out during departure. So wing tanks on departure, and then center tank after departure. Alright, we're navving, coming up on 10,000 feet. Hopefully we'll have a nice breakout here. There's 10,000.
Stabilizer motion.
Let's accelerate up to our climb speed. I'm going to leave the flight attendant sitting down a little while longer. $10,000-foot check. Exterior lights are off. I'm sorry, fuel system has been checked. Annunciator panel was checked and I flipped the fuel switches off. We've got the engine anti-ice on, that's it. Hydraulic pumps low and off. Pressurization air conditioning is checked. And flight attendant sterile flight deck has not been chimed yet. Let's get out of the overcast and get out of these clouds. Might run some airfoil anti-ice. Okay. We can get rid of the Egypt whiz. Just on the radar. See if anything's out there. Now rate of climb's picked up. Now that we're at our climb speed. Yeah, we can probably lose the engine anti-ice now. A little extra power. Yeah, the 82s were not overpowered. That is definitely true. Return from PV to Oxford. Once again, checking my altitude capability chart at 148,000 pounds. I might be able to get to 320 once we're up there, but really 310 is my max, and it's 153,000 pounds. I'm pulling those off of, well, the chart is actually called Altitude Capability Quick Reference. It's produced by an airline. I don't have permission to share it, but I'll bet you those cruise docs are findable online, or maybe even in the Leonardo docs. Leonardo is pretty good at documenting their aircraft. Well, I didn't even check to see, just out of curiosity. Ah, they have the checklist. Nice. After takeoff, brake temperature, landing gear, speed rate, yeah. Sweet. That's good. Glad they wrote those in. That's awesome. All right, coming up on 180. Our final group of climb checks. Two 2. 2992. Excellent. Our 180 climb checks. Exterior lights are checked. Aircraft performance has been checked. We are good to go to 310. So we shall. Up we go. So 9220. I gotta add that up because I gotta have proper numbers in my FMC here. 19870 plus 9266 plus 9266. 38402. 38.4. And notice it's spat back something to me right away that said max altitude 310. Okay. There we go. It must have just been recomputing the path. 310 is armed. We are in VNAV climb. We're in nav track. Harding to Carmel, which is the last waypoint on the SID. Actually, we took off with so much fuel, now I'm worried about 130,000 pounds. Being too heavy on landing. We have to burn a bunch of fuel off. You know what? Let's do that. Let's go all told. We'll level at 23. And we will recruise 230. We know we got the gas for it. And we'll just descend just a little bit. We'll plan on holding 300 knots in the cruise. Burn that gas. Alright. We're at our cruise. We go to N1. No lights. Everything's running the way it should. Do our cruise checklist. Engine airplane systems are checked. Engine sync is on N1. Fuel system is set. Dial flap goes to 23. Altimeter, we're not in RVSM, and position reports. Shows you how old that checklist is if it's got position reports on it. Couldn't tell you the last time I did a position report in the real world. Even folks that fly across the ocean don't really do manual position reports anymore, right? It's all reported by ACARS. Okay, we are on our way to Buffalo. So we will continue this, and when we get closer to our top of descent, we'll check back in. And, oh wait. We gotta do a little cabin tour. Plus we gotta set our views for the cabins. Let's do that. Let's get out of here. Let's go back. Oh. Here we are. Coffee pot. Nice. Oh, doesn't look like it's got a click spot. Uninstall. Cabin lights. Nice. Oh, the stairs. You can control the stairs here. Entry lights. Nice. More galley over here. Alright. I see you. Let's get a leading edge view over here, if there aren't too many people that have put their shades down. The random shade is kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. I mean, it's kind of cool that just like in the real airplane, sometimes people put their shades down, but it's kind of a pain when you do set up views. We go over one more. Ah, there we go. Is that a good one? Yeah, let's get a little closer. Next, here we go. Next open window. There we go. Look at forward right-hand side. let's get a good flaps view. That wing looks pretty good. Let's go back to my favorite seat. Hopefully the window shade is not down. And it is. Aw. This is my favorite view. Because you got the engine and everything else. Alright, well, we'll have to be sort of mid about it. That stinks. And now let's get her direct over the wing view, if we can. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's a much better looking wing. Cool. One thing I did notice, there's not a lot of change in the soundscape depending on where you're sitting. So that's too bad. But the sounds are a lot better. There's no doubt about it. Alright, Otto ahead, Johnstown, and then our top of descent is right over that that VOR up there. Juliet Hotel Whiskey. Okay, folks. Well, let's let him walk around. We're in some smooth air. You're free to move about the country. Here we are. All right, we'll catch back up with you at the top of descent. How you doing? We're back. We're on our descent into Buffalo, and yeah, our my failure to ensure that the proper profile and us ending up with more fuel, way more fuel than we needed, has resulted in my descending super early, and I pulled a page out of a airline flight I was on a few weeks ago where we got to our destination very quickly due to the winds, and we had too much fuel, so we flew the last 45 minutes with the gear down. So here I am, tooling along in the Maddog with the gear down, right at the max gear speed. I got 295 dialed in on the speed. The max gear down speed is 300. I'll slow to 250 as we get down to 10,000 feet. And we may have to hold over Trava, which is the initial approach fix for the ILS into Buffalo. But hey, you do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. And fortunately, when an airplane is modeled correctly, you can do things like that. And the Maddog certainly is. It was likely my mistake that led to our overfuel situation. But as you all know, I don't edit out for stuff like that. The only editing I ever do is just for time, like sitting at cruise. But I'm not going to cover up any mistakes I make or anything that's wrong with a particular aircraft, at least as far as I know. So, but again, this is a pre-release version, so that not picking up the fuel load properly, you know, could have been something that they're working on. I don't know, but I've seen that before in previous versions when I didn't use the proper sim brief profile. But hey, just like in real life, we'll deal with it. All right, we're coming up on 10,000 feet. Dial the speed back. lower our rate of ascent, so it will help us slow down a little bit. And then I want to get down to 4,000 feet. In fact, we could go to IAS mode. $250. Travel. Let's hold. Travel. Our inbound course should be 235. Right turns. 1 minute. Here we go. Pool is entered. We can go to plan mode. And there's the hold drawn. Flying into the hold, so I would expect it to do a teardrop entry. And then we will hold. Feet. Uh, 37. We're 3 minutes away. We got to descend 6,000 feet. For an IS, the pitch wheel controls speed, and actually I can pre-select the speed here. And our throttles, which go into clamp mode. Computer lockout, manual power. It's also called clamp because it clamps the auto thrust servos so they don't try to command anything. And when we level off, we will slow down to 250 knots. Or 170 knots. Performance, landing, Buffalo, 2-3, dry, flaps 28 is fine. The weather in Buffalo. Augusta 24. 20014. So half of that, 7, and all Augusta 17, so we want to add 15 to our ref speed. Altimeter 2983. Temperature a balmy 11 degrees. We're going to be right at max landing weight. There we go. Ref of 153. Coming up on Trava. Yep, returning in for our teardrop entry. So that is exactly what I expected. Here's our turn back inbound. And 70 knots. What do we want to be at? Flaps 11.
Stabilizer motion.
Flaps 11. You hear the ADF in the background too. That's kind of cool. All right, we are in the hold. Buffalo traffic, American 360. We're going to be holding Trava, 4,000 feet, and then setting up for the ILS runway 23, Buffalo. So we're just trying to get slowed down, or just trying to get established in the hold. Not sure what the nav was doing there. I should have corrected earlier. It did not turn direct back to Trava on the expected hold course like I would have expected it to. Now it's correcting. And it looks to me like it's doing the right thing. I just changed it to 10-mile legs, since we're going to be in the hold for a bit. I would probably ask for speed relief and see if I can pick up my speed a little bit just to burn more fuel. So once we burn the fuel we need, we'll come back and we'll chat. We are back. Okay, we've done a few turns in the hold. I asked for speed relief, got it, so we could maintain a little bit higher speed, burn more gas, and now we're here below our max landing weight of 130,000 pounds on our way into Buffalo. Buffalo weather remains pretty much the same, 190, winds, gusty winds out of the south, 190 at 13, gusts to 22, 10 miles of visibility, 1,000 broken, 6,000 broken, temperature 12, dew point -2, altimeter 2980. That is set left and center, and they are using runway 23 and also visuals to 14. So we're gonna have a little bit of a crosswind coming into 23. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. Meanwhile, we've completed the approach checklist. We've done the stereo landing chime. We've got everybody sat down, and we are ready for our approach into Buffalo. We've got the localizer out there. We can go ahead and arm the approach, low track. 4,000 is our altitude out here, so we are good. We'll start slowing up as we get closer to Trava. I'm sorry, Clump. Clump is at the outer marker, and that'll be somewhere around 2,200 feet. We can go down 2,300 feet. Inside of Trava. I need to figure out a way to bind this better. Sorry, I had to yell because I had to turn away. Down 2,300, it's armed. Buffalo traffic, American 360, about a 1.4 mile final, 23. see we're creeping back up to our VNAV calculated descent path. Glide slope
2500.
is now being received. Leveling off at 2300, 160 knots. We're at flaps 18. Gear is already down. We'll go to flaps 28 once
Stabilizer
the
motion.
glide slope starts to come in. Is our level off? Plane is leveling off. Starting to level off. Are you leveling off? I'll hold it. Working our way in. Look at the wind, how strong the wind is. Almost 50 knots up here. A lovely 120 knot ground speed. Like a Cessna 172. We're going to eke our way back up to 2,300 feet. Glide slope should come alive right outside clump. There it comes. About to get glide slope capture. Go to flaps 28. 52 is our ref. Glide slope track, look track. This approach altitude is 3,000 feet. Here's the marker. Nicely simulated. How it fades in and fades out. That's awesome.
Stabilizer motion.
Before landing checklist. Hydraulic pumps high and on. Altimeter 2980 set. Flight instruments bugs set and cross-check. Seatbelt signs on. Tail de-ice is not needed. Gear down 3 green. Spoiler lever is armed. Auto brakes set to min. Flats and slaps 28 land. Annunciator lights checked. And ignition's on system B. Four landing checklist is complete, and it is gusty. It is gusty. The auto throttles are just going back and forth. Yeehaw. Coming off the autopilot. Coming off autopilot or auto throttle.
300. 200. 100.
Woo. It is gusty.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh, I'm working it. Come on. Come on, get down. Illegal. There we go. Much better rudder control in this version, I noticed, with the flight. I'm assuming it's a new flight model over the previous version. I used to have to go full stop. Manual braking. Shoo! Well, that was interesting. I think we're exiting at Alpha. All right. Wow, that was a lot of work. A lot of work in that wind. But we got her down. And now we got to go to gate 5. Okay, after landing, transponder. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, let's go to gate 5. Gate 5. No. Luckily, it's kind of down at this end, so I'll turn right on Bravo. Up here? Or maybe that's Alpha 2. Oh, yes, it is Alpha 2. The way the gates are angled, it's kind of like going the wrong way down a one-way street. But that's all right. Not sure where the stutter came from either. I'm on SU4, and I have not had any stutters like this. There's 5. So we'll overshoot it a little bit. Boy, not much room. Look at all the stuff they got in here. He's running. We'll get it on bus. Shut it down. I did that out of habit. Okay. We can also request the GPU. Auto brake engine ignition's off, flex left up, radar's off, APU off, pneumatic feeds are open, right engine is shut down, everything's shut down. Parking brake seatbelt sign, APU is established, fuel levers off, anti-collision lights are off. There we go. Engine ignition's off, fuel pumps can come off. I should have gotten that when I shut there down. We do the APU running. Probe heat's off. Windshield heat is off. Anti-ice is off. Air conditioning we have set. Pumps are high and off. And that is it. We did it. We landed in 20 to 40 knot crosswinds. We survived. We thrived. I'll tell you what, Leonardo has done it again. Love this plane even more than I used to. It looks great. The flight deck is killer. Sounds are much improved. Much improved. And I'm sure there'll be even some more refinement prior to its release here in a couple of days. Let's get out and take a look at her before we head off into the sunset. Such a cool airplane. Alright folks, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Oh. We gotta open some doors so we look like we're unloading. Forward. Aft. Forward. So again, hope you enjoyed coming along on the trip. Hope you enjoyed this little preview of the MD-80. Maybe it's already out by the time you're seeing this. Maybe it's coming out in the next day or two. But whatever the situation is, enjoy it, because planes like this don't come around very often. Planes that really just sort of, I don't think it's too much to say, sort of stirs the soul. I don't know what Leonardo did. I don't know what magical potion they have. But look, we're lucky. What a great time to be alive and be simming, right? We have some wonderful airplanes out there, right? And this is certainly one of them. But there's just something about flying this retro jet and the personality that's been built into her. I can't think of a better way to spend an afternoon. So I am CJ. I'm your classic jet sim pilot. Thanks, Leonardo, for the advanced copy. I will be, if there's an upgrade cost, I will be purchasing it, because again, I'm a firm believer that good developers should be rewarded for their work and are entitled to be paid, no matter the situation. And I'm CJ. I'm your classic jet sim pilot. Until next time, keep the shiny side up. Go out and enjoy this Mad Dog. It's worth it.